We've shaved 4 degrees off the embankment. We're going back in time to a racetrack and the configuration that started it all. It's the Quad Oval in Georgia, live here tonight for the very first race of the playoffs. It's the Coastal Financial Truck Series presented by Racing Revolution at Legacy Atlanta, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Hampton, Georgia. Welcome in, everybody, for the Chapman Environmental Services 180. It's the ChapmanES.com series event for the first race of the playoffs. And here's a look at the points. Now we have everything in the round of 12 racked up and ready to go, with Jeremy Burns and his 7 wins and a surprise victory last week at Daytona. And the regular season victory was fantastic, to say the least. Cannot believe that he was able to put that together. We have a lot of drivers here that are on that cut mark. Justin Ritchie, who was winless this season, won some stages. Caleb Gilbert just behind him, 2 points off the cutoff. And it's 2 points out for Tyler Harrison, Nick Alves, and Parker Johnston. So tonight could be an excellent evening to bring it all back together. And we have about 16, 17 trucks that are going to come out here on the racetrack here tonight. If you look through these points, with Kyle Diaz not able to make it there, Cody Anderson had quite a few good regular season finishes, but just couldn't stay consistent. Morgan Cook maintained a top 10 even after a couple weekends that he missed there. Christopher Schaefer, Ryan Comer, some consistent drivers in this season, also not making this round of 12. It's Jeremy Burns leading it, with Grant Turner, Alex Forget, Berube having 2 wins. Dakota Floyd winless, but still maintains a top 5. Let's see if Dakota Floyd can finally find his way to victory lane after a rough regular season. Got a lot of top 5s, and we have Trevor Keith with a win as well, and he's got the Aviators on this week. I can see him all dressed up, ready to go. Looking at some of these guys overall, anybody could win this championship. It's a division of less than 15, 16 points roughly between the top and all the way down to the bottom there, with the drivers outside that cutoff mark. So it's going to be really close, and hopefully we can stay clean and green. I'd like to see some of these drivers that are in this top 12 have a good race here tonight, see how we all factor this in. Track map, of course, we've been here in Atlanta before, but this is the 24 degrees of banking, so it's 28 now on the new Atlanta. A lot of these trucks would be running wide open. It'd be kind of like a super speedway, but here at the classic configuration, this asphalt is definitely worn out. It's definitely broke in, and it's a little bit more difficult to pass. The car's going to be loose. It's going to scoot up the racetrack, especially out of the exit of turn 4. And getting to the outside of somebody is really the only way to get around them, get around that high line and really charge into the corner to get to their door. So you got to plan these passes. You got to kind of premeditate your exit speed, and where you're going to plan these passes is going to dictate whether or not you actually complete them. Meeting guys at the wrong time, lap traffic will be a factor at some point during this race, I'm sure. You got guys that might be off the pace or maybe have some damage that could come into play as well. We got a lot going on here that's going to put this all together tonight. July 30th, 1960, this racetrack opened as a regular oval, now has the quad, and of course you've seen the new configuration in the Cup Series as of late. Race analysis up on your screen. 120 laps here today, 45 miles per hour on pit road. 4 tire sets available, 75% fuel. Stage at lap 30. And, of course, the iRacing Fix setup. We have 2 green-white checkers. We had to use one of those last week at Daytona. And the surprise victory from Jeremy Burns put him up towards the top spot. And we'll get a look at some of these guys. Jeremy Burns getting warmed up here. As of late, though, Jeremy has had a couple off weeks that maybe put him kind of on the back burner. Some of these guys starting to get some wins later in the regular season. And it's going to be a good championship. I think it's a good run for the playoffs. We're going to eliminate 4 drivers here as we move through this season. It's schedule on your screen. You can see here with Old Atlanta, New Hampshire, Homestead, Dover. These are the rounds you can see highlighted in gray that will eliminate it down to just 4 drivers. So we have 2 races here with Old Atlanta and New Hampshire, and then we go on to Homestead with 8 drivers to Dover, and we'll eliminate it down to 4, and we'll go to Las Vegas for our championship. With that, though, it's time to take you trackside and get that grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here tonight, it's Jacob Sirkovich. No, it is not. That was in practice. He went out and put a time. So it's Jeremy Burns and Michael Reed on the top spot. Less than 2/1000ths of a second separate the 72 from the 91. Jeremy Burns, another pole award here tonight. Kevin Orlando Jr., Alex Forget Berube will start in row number 2. Then you have 5th position going to Dakota Floyd. Philip Brewer will start in 6th spot. Haven't heard Philip Brewer in here before, so we got the 44 on the racetrack. Justin Ritchie will start in 7th. Caleb Gilbert in 8th. Rounding out the top 10, Grant Thorpe, Nick Alves in the 24, starting 10. Cody Anderson and Trevor Keith will start 11th and 12th. 13th goes to Jacob Sirkovich, Christopher Schaefer in 14th. 15th goes to Grant Turner. Then you have Ryan Comer starting in the 16th position. 17 truck field here tonight. Tyler Harrison electing not to take a time. Maybe problems in qualifying for the 45. He will start in the 17th position. No, it was the new configuration that got a victory for Grant Turner. He'll start back in 15th on this old classic style. Michael Reed to the outside. He has a win this season as well. He's come just short of getting multiple wins. A lot of top 3s for this driver. I hope you're as excited as I am to get this playoff underway. The Ingenuity Power Systems Chevrolet Silverado is going to be the command truck. He's been the commanding truck all season long. With his 7 victories, can he add an 8th one to get the playoffs started off right? Restart zone underway. Live and racing. It's Racing Revolution Truck Series. Coastal Financial into turn 1. Getting really loose on the bottom, Kevin Orlando almost lost the back end of that truck. That's going to allow Dakota Floyd to get right up on the bumper of this machine. Dakota Floyd already on the move to the inside of the 19. Side by side here for the lead spot. And I apologize for the ticker being broken on the left-hand side of your screen, but you can see the top 10. Battle for the lead between Orlando and Reed. It's Reed will get the advantage on the exit of the corner. Outside for the 91. It's going to drop down in between the 27 and the 72 of Jeremy Burns, and now takes the inside through the quad. Lap 5 goes to Reed. Looking off the back of the 91. There's another peek to the inside by the 27 down the backstretch. Big run here for Kevin Orlando. Looks like Reed shuts the door. It's not going to be enough. Orlando will get to the outside going into turn 1. Another test for the lead. The top spot up for grabs here. Orlando a little bit off in qualifying here. The last time by, 2/10 faster than Michael Reed. Gonna take over that top spot from the 91. Kevin Orlando definitely had an opportunity at Daytona to get a victory. Raced a little bit too soon down the backstretch, put himself in a weird situation. The block there on the 48. Now a little bit of a block here into 1, cutting the air off of the 91, trying to keep him back there. I don't think it's going to be enough though. The 91 of Reed is bad fast here down the backstretch. He'll get right up on the bumper into the entry of 3. Battle continues for the lead. Dakota Floyd looks to the outside of Alex Forget. Ford all on top of each other. You can go all the way back here to Tyler Harrison, who started at the tail end of this field. Biggest mover so far of the race. Back from 17th all the way to 8th. 9 positions gained and chasing down Justin Ritchie to watch the battles between this top 10. On board now with Tyler Harrison. Michael Reed still all over the back bumper. Pushes up the racetrack just a little bit there. Allows Jeremy Burns to get to the inside. Battle for second now. As Ingenuity Power Systems goes to the bottom of the racetrack. I think right here is where Michael Reed is going to get a 2-for-1. He'll stay to the outside. Kevin Orlando does not get a good exit. And here comes Michael Reed back to the lead. Wide offset here with Philip Brewer. He's in the wall. "13 laps in, and they're all over the place." Not a very good exit there for Reed. It's going to allow Burns to the inside in 3 and 4. Dive down to the bottom now. Reed still has the lead, still has the advantage. Needs to get a better exit through turns 1 and 2. Really tight battle off of 2. 44 Brewer gets the wall. I think Reed tapped it a little bit there as well. And he gets really loose off the exit of 4. It's going to allow Brewer to the outside. And Philip Brewer in his debut, the Racing Revolution Truck Series. He's going to compete for the top spot. He'll take over the lead here on lap 15. As Jeremy Burns follows suit, he will. He'll take it to the outside as well. Reed gets a little bit loose again. And the 57 of Dakota Floyd will be the next in line. Alex Forget patiently waiting behind this. There's the pass to the inside by Dakota Floyd for the 3rd spot. Way up the racetrack here for Reed. He's going to get really loose off the exit. Might touch the wall. That's going to break the momentum there for Dakota Floyd. It allows Alex Forget to the outside. Still the top 5 right on top of each other. And Brewer leads a lap. 2 laps led now for the 44 truck. He's losing the handling as Jeremy Burns keeps him honest. They're back here with the previous race leader. He's fallen back to 7th. Has Grant Thorpe to the inside out of 3 and 4. A pinch down here in the middle of the corner. And the 6 of Justin Ritchie leading the 2nd group. He's loose across the quad oval. He's trying to hold on to it. He's going to lose it. 6 trucks sideways. Caution is out. He's still trying to save it. Truck does not want to be saved. He chased this truck all the way through the quad oval. He got loose out of 4. He saves it. He doesn't save it. Man. Is on board here with the driver of the 6 of Ritchie. Watch this wheel coming out of 4. This truck never wanted to be saved. Onto pit lane now for all of these drivers, and positions lost as we have a 2-tire call, I think, for Cody Anderson. Nick Owls, Caleb Gilbert, top 3 now. Philip Brewer falls back to 4th. Jeremy Burns back to 5th, and Michael Reed back to 6th position. But Tyler Harrison has impressed me here thus far. He's worked his way up a lot of positions. 10 spots gained now. Gains another one on pit road. Grant Turner falls back to 8th. But Turner also on the move. 7 spots gained. Flip-flop here on the top 10. Lights are out on the pace car this time around. Coming up on that stage lap. Lap 30. I think that's why some of these drivers are electing to take 2 tires. One of the drivers that took 2 came back down pit road to get left sides as well. That was Caleb Gilbert. Came in with topped off of fuel. And the 20 truck going to command this restart. Let's ride around Atlanta and see if he can handle these 2 tires with Nick Alves to the outside. This is for the stage with less than 10 to go. 9 laps left in stage number 1. There's Cody Anderson as we go back green. On the loud pedal, a little bit of wheel spin on the outside. Anderson into turn 1. Already with the 44, got a good restart here. Anderson falls back. And here comes Michael Reed to the inside of Philip Brewer, trying to take it away. Brewer had a good restart. Reed had the momentum out of 2. He'll jump up in front of him. And the 91's going to lead this time by 8 to go. It is a cluster pack here on lap 23 for the top 5. Kevin Orlando inside of the 15 to Trevor Keith. Dollar Tree on the hood of that machine. Grant Thorpe just behind him. All these dollar store sponsors on these trucks competing amongst themselves. As Philip Brewer takes back the top spot, Reed back to the outside. Lap 25 underway. Side by side going into turn 1 for second and third. 7 trucks sideways. He saves it, but Grant Turner loses it and falls back to 4th. Got a really good run here coming out of 4. They give a bump to the entrance of 1. Trying to use the 44 into the entry of the corner. Very aggressive here for Reed, but he's almost going to scrape the wall. And Jeremy Burns has worked his way back to 3rd, now lurking for the stage. Lap 30. What we're aiming for here is we have 3 laps left. Philip Brewer still under fire for the top 3. With Brewer, Reed, Burns, Turner, and Keith the top 5. Keith back on offense. These guys get to race side by side, which they will. That might allow these drivers back in 4th and 5th position to get back up here on board again. With Jeremy Burns watching this side by side for the top spot. 2 to go. at the line. White flag going to go up in the air. Can Michael Reed beat Philip Brewer? He's going to get him here a little bit out of turn 4, but he's going to stay side by side into 1 and 2. One more time around for the stage. Reed to the bottom. Brewer on the outside. Slides up the racetrack. Brewer sideways. Brewer's going to have the advantage for the exit. Can Reed stay to the inside? He can. Can he get the drive off of the corner? This is his last chance to win stage 1. He's not going to get it. Philip Brewer is going to snag away in his first appearance here in the Truck Series. Stage 1 goes to Philip Brewer. They're going to continue on here. I don't know why I continue to do this every single week, but it's lap 45 that we're going to the stage. I don't know what changed here. They made another edit. Lap 45. So I guess we're still under green. Never mind. So as Brewer finds his way to the front, looks like Clean Air helping this 44 pull away a little bit here. I want to apologize to everybody in the chat. I thought the 91 was racing for that spot. But some changes here in the mid-season. Apparently the graphic that I had is still out of date, so I need to change that up. But caution is out. It looks like Kevin Orlando sideways out of turn 4. And this is going to put us in the same exact scenario we just had a moment ago. Try this again. We're going to re-rack him. There's contact out of 2 with Tyler Harrison. Kevin Orlando. There's Schaefer. On board with the 23 here coming out of turn 2. Just misses it. Let's go on board here with Tyler Harrison. He's on the outside. And just running out of racetrack here. Truck's coming down pit road here. Caleb Gilbert comes in. He's going to get topped off with fuel. Let's see if we can find Tyler Harrison here. Tyler Harrison, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Tyler, it looked like you just ran out of racetrack there coming off of turn 2. Kevin Orlando across the nose. How tough is this truck to handle out here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit of a handful. I honestly, these are the first laps that I've turned in this truck. I literally just came back from Washington, D.C. at Vans Warped Tour, sat down in my sim, and now I'm jogging the first laps here. So I'm trying to figure that out myself, honestly. Seems like it builds loose, gets tight on corner exit, and that seems like what happened with Kevin, which is all good. Doesn't seem like I have too much damage on the truck. I don't know if you're able to see anything of that sorts, but seems like it drives straight, drives fine, and should be good to go to get some stage points here.
Looks pretty clean there on that right side. Used up that outside wall out of the exit of turn 2, but Tyler, you're up here near the top 5. Another restart as we have a little short dash to lap 45. Anybody want to shout out real quick while we have you?
Oh yeah, just everybody that's on the truck, Appen Studios, Recharge Rally, Mr. Detail. Of course, you guys for broadcasting this. I'm sure we're going to put on a little bit of a spectacle here for the last few laps of this stage. And of course, Racing Revolution, everybody who sponsors the league. Should be a good run to the stage here, and hopefully we can get the damage fixed and get a good finish here today, get above the cut line.
So I'm going to put you back in BDE, is that correct?
Yes, sir, you got it. Appreciate you.
All right. Tyler Harris is going to restart in 6th position. Here we go for another one, and I'm glad you guys forgave me there. It's making some mistakes here on the graphic, and I know what I have versus what I'm reading now. Yeah, we're going to lap 45. It's going to be less than 10 to go. 38 when they take the green flag. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. Into that Geico restart zone we go. And it's up to Philip Brewer to try to hold on. Lots of wheel spin back here. That causes some chaos, and here comes Jeremy Burns to the inside of Philip Brewer. And a big run here for Michael Reed to the outside of the 72. He's not done yet. All over the back bumper as he cuts the nose off of the 72. What a move there. Elevator from the top to the bottom. He can't get the momentum off the corner, though. Where does he go? 72 follows behind. We're going to see a dive to the inside for the 91 of Reed. He will get to the bottom, but he scoots up the racetrack. He's running out of room here. That was a sin for Michael Reed to try to take over the lead. 6 to go. Reed in the wall. Alex Forget gets around. Wide across the quad oval. Cody Anderson to the bottom. Here comes the 20 truck across the 7 of Grant Turner. And Cody Anderson finds his way into the top 5. And Alex Forget looks like he's going to get the stage victory as he is pulled away. Pressure tires for the 20. And he'll go up here and compete with Alex Forget. He'll get to the inside of Philip Brewer. Through the quad oval. Cody Anderson has 3 laps left to do it here. Can he chase down Alex Forget Berube and win this stage? 3 to go. Nick Alves to the bottom. Some of these drivers that elected to take fuel only on that last stop, now getting their 4 tires. Looking like geniuses. 24 truck was 11th in points coming into tonight. Stage win would definitely help for that top 8. You watch as Cody Anderson and Alex Forget start to battle. 2 laps to go. And Cody Anderson all over Alex Forget. White flag going to come out this time around. The top 2 have pulled completely away from the rest of this field, side by side with Michael Reed and Grant Turner, using all of the racing surface out of turn 4. But it's one more time, and this is official. This is the stage right here. 20's going to get a decent run out of 2. Uses all of the racetrack on the exit, gets a little bit loose, and it looks like Alex Forget Berube with his run into 3 and 4 just might do it. Yes, he will. And the 19 is going to get stage number 1, Alex Forget Berube at Atlanta. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen. Of course, that's what we've been showing all night long. Had some issues with our overlays here tonight. Want to apologize to everybody. And here we come down pit road. Everybody pouring in. Don't want to make a mistake finding that box. Alex Forget looks like a fuel-only stop for him. Down and away for the 19. 20 actually wins the battle off of pit road. So Cody Anderson will be your command truck. Nick Alves, Alex Forget. Now it's down to the 4 tire stops. Phillip Brewer will win the battle for that with Jeremy Burns, Michael Reed, 7th Turner. Grant Thorpe just behind that. We'll go anywhere. We have more coverage of the Coastal Financial Truck Series presented by Racing Revolution. It's the Chapman Environmental Services.com 180. More coverage on Vspeed right after this. Here live from Atlanta, and if you just tuned in, stage 1 winner Alex Forget in the 19, electing to take fuel only on this stop, as did Cody Anderson, Nick Alves in the top 3. Jeremy Burns, Philip Brewer side by side back here. Top 3 on fuel only for this stage number 2 about to get underway. Still 17 trucks. Kevin Orlando went for a spin there a moment ago as we go back underway. Green flag is out, and it's Cody Anderson taking it into turn 1 with an excellent restart. And now a dive to the inside from the 44. How long can the 10 lead this race? I don't think it's going to be very long. He might get a lap here. He might get a lap here. He's going to hold on to it. A lot of blocking on the 44. But that 20 is on borrowed time. 10 lap difference on tires is showing itself right here through 1 and 2. Scoots up the racetrack. Philip Brewer and Michael Reed battle it out. Jeremy Burns is falling back to 6th here. And here's Grant Thorpe on his 4 fresh tires, making a move to the inside for 3rd. Just shy of halfway through this race. This lead has changed hands so many times. 3 cautions and 12 lead changes with Alex Forget on stage number 1. Michael Reed takes over the top position. We've mentioned the 91 several times tonight. He's had a fast truck. It's just keeping that lead. His exit on turn 2 has not been as good as some of these guys behind him. How long can he hold on to it? That clean air seems to be hurting this truck, as he'll lose a little bit of ground to the 44 of Brewer. All of turn 2 to exit that time. That's a lot better than what we've seen previously. Dives it down into 3 and 4. And a great exit here. He'll hold on to the lead as Grant Thorpe works his way closer. Grant Turner, Alex Forget, Berube with a battle for the 5th spot. Put Jeremy Burns in that mix as well. Cody Anderson on the high line here. Older tires for him. Anderson will let the 72 by. Doesn't want to let too many guys go. There's a different strategy on tires. Came in with topped off with fuel, won the battle off pit road, led a lap under green. Can he mitigate the damage? He's really tight off of turn 2. Looking back over the battle between Caleb Gilbert. This is for the top 10 with Trevor Keith. On board now with the 15. See our new telemetry there on the left-hand side of your screen, kind of covering up the ticker that's not working for the bottom half of this field. We'll jump back up front with Michael Reed, 0.2, almost 0.3 of a second ahead of Philip Brewer. 91 figuring out that clean air, doing a fantastic job now for lap 59, halfway through this race. And a perfect opportunity, if you know where those volume knobs are, why don't you go ahead and find it. We'll hide that ticker. We'll turn up the volume. Let's crank it up a little bit here on Vspeed. We cranked it up a little bit there. You're watching a pass for the 4th position on Grant Turner. Jeremy Burns has gotten around. He's just cleared down the backstretch, but it's Michael Reed still your leader. 91 holding his own against Philip Brewer. And this is the long run portion of this race. Stage 1 at lap 45. 15 laps shy of that halfway mark. Lap 64 underway. 91 continues to pull away a little bit here. Grant Thorpe in the 3rd position. Jeremy Burns, Grant Turner, Dakota Floyd, Tyler Harrison. And you have to go all the way back here to Trevor Keith to find any kind of close battling, as Tyler Harrison has gotten around the 15. It follows Dakota Floyd through the quad oval. Pretty big gap here between Grant Turner and Dakota Floyd. 1.9 seconds separate the 7 and the 57. And you look off the nose of Grant Turner, falling back a little bit here. See some side by side. Jeremy Burns peeks to the outside of Grant Thorpe. Now to the bottom. Gonna drive down to the inside of 1 and 2 as we watch off the hood of Turner. They stay side by side down the backstretch. Unable to complete that pass. Battle for the lead heats up a little bit. Philip Brewer did look to the inside there for a brief moment. Continued to get the run down the backstretch. Can he carry it anywhere? Brewer looking to get around. It's allowing this top 5 to get back closer. Reed still holds on to the lead. Brewer now to the inside, doesn't have the run off of 2 that he wanted. Gonna charge really hard here out of 4. Takes the air off the back spoiler. He'll get to the inside through the quad oval. About to see another change for the lead. Dives to the inside, saving those tires, doing the best he can. Philip Brewer with Reed loose on the outside. Brewer's going to take over the spot. Reed falls back to 4th, all within 1 exit of a corner. Grant Thorpe up to 2nd now with Jeremy Burns looking to the outside. All over the back bumper just in front of Reed. Side by side for 2nd on lap 72. Less than 50 laps to go. Contact between the 72 and the 77. Reed got to the inside. He's going to use up the 72. Moved him up the racetrack a little bit there through the exit of 4. Almost got 3rd position back. Michael Reed might have burned those tires off leading this race. Very deceitful, putting this car up front and going to chase. Not a very good exit there for Grant Thorpe. It's going to allow the 72 up to the back bumper. He'll give a push. And allow Reed back into the picture as well. Reed to use up the racetrack. He does not. Thorpe is in trouble. Peek to the outside from the 91. Where does he want to take this? Might have the advantage off the exit of 2. He's going to get a little bit tight. Great race in here from 2nd back to 4th. Brewer loves what he sees in his mirror right now. He wants this to continue on. Big run to the inside. A send there from the 72 and 3 and 4. He'll get clear, but slides up in front. 72 on the crossover. Battle again for 2nd spot. Turner working his way into this picture as well as Reed tags the wall. A little safer barrier touch, clearing the 77 of Thorpe. Here comes Grant Turner now to the outside. Holding his own up high in 1 and 2. He'll get clear just enough down the backstretch. Settles down for the top 5. And Philip Brewer continues to hold on to the lead. 30 laps led when he crosses that stripe. These drivers use up their tires trying to keep pace with the 44. We're going to find out. $52 to go. 42 to go. Math. Floyd might have been saving his tires. He's worked his way back up to this top 5. Watching the 77 of Grant Thorpe just in front of him. This is top 5 in points battling. Here comes Floyd to the inside. Difficult to complete this pass. He'll stay to the door through the quad oval. Protects the bottom. Battle for the lead between Burns. We have a lap down truck becoming a factor. That's the 6 of Justin Ritchie. Allows the 72 to the inside. And Burns gets really loose out of the exit. That's going to allow Brewer back to the bottom. He'll lead this time by. They touch doors 3 wide with a lap truck on the outside. Last week with the 6 and the 91, things did not go well. Do we see any kind of retaliation here? We do not. 6 moves up the racetrack, lets him go by. Third spot for Reed. Turner follows 57 to the outside for the 4th position. We're going to go off the corner 3 wide. And Floyd will get the 4th position. Dakota Floyd lurking back here, matching lap times with the top 5. Truck down pit road now. Surprise call on pit road as Grant Thorpe gets sideways. Christopher Schaefer also down to pit road. He lost it in the 23, loops it on the entry. Unsafe pit entry for the 23. We're going to stay green though. Grant Thorpe and Michael Reed hit their pit stalls. Down and away for Grant Thorpe. Down and away for Reed. Schaefer just now getting to his box. And Dakota Floyd will take over the top position as we have some other drivers down pit road. Loops it here for the 19 of Forget. Your stage 1 winner, the 19, loses it on the entry of pit road. And a ton of time lost here for the 19 truck. down pit road for Dakota Floyd, Grant Turner, Tyler Harrison, 15 of Trevor Keith, 19 of Forget just now leaving the box. Nick Alvson as well. There's an onboard look down pit road with the 24. And difficult pit exit here. Have to be careful not to go over that white line. Until that blue cone. Now he can come up the racetrack. So it's Michael Reed after this cycle of green flag pit stops, your leader on and off pit road. He got it clean. And we'll have just under 40 laps to go. Fantastic job here from Reed to take over the top position. Grant Thorpe under fire from Jeremy Burns. Philip Brewer, second through fourth, continue their battle. We're going to take you side by side here on Vspeed. The battle for the top five underway. After green flag pit stops, more coverage continues of the Coastal Financial Truck Series as we see a pass for second with contact between Burns and Thorpe. Move to the bottom. Side by side coming up.
The victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Is going to take the victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams. Back here live from Atlanta. Just over 25 laps to go. Jeremy Burns takes over the top spot, but has a challenge here from Philip Brewer, and Brewer gets into him, going into one. What a save there from Burns, but he's still sideways coming off of turn two. The fan favorite gets a little bit of the nose, and this puts Reed back into the picture. Bottom half of the ticker not working here tonight, Terry. I apologize a couple times for that tonight. Working on some new overlays here at Vspeed. Still working out the bugs. Side by side for the lead with Brewer on the outside. Top three could throw a blanket over top of him. 25 laps to go. And these trucks make it to the very end of this race. It looks like they can. As hard as these guys are driving, first through third, I'm going to venture to say this will happen. Brewer holds on to the top spot. Burns probably not very happy with how he was used there into 1 and 2. Probably burned off the right rear of this truck. Brewer pulls away a little bit this time by. 10th faster for the 44. Reed all over the back bumper. Gets a good run off of turn 4, and it's going to allow him to chase down on this 44 truck. 22 laps to go, and we're watching this top 3 battle shape up for the lead. Grant Thorpe in the background, Dakota Floyd. Grant Turner has fallen back to 6th. Tyler Harrison, a phenomenal day so far in recovery. Here's Caleb Gilbert in the 8th position. That's 5 seconds back with Trevor Keith and Cody Anderson duking it out for 9th. Keith to the inside. 15 truck trying to make another advance across the quad oval. Not quite clear going into 1. The send here on the inside. Anderson going to stay outside. Ethan Anderson, the battle on your screen for 9th. Galves, Alex Forget back here, 12th and 13th position. Ryan Comer in between those cars in 11th. Keith still not able to complete this pass, with the defense on the outside for Cody Anderson holding strong. Battle for the lead heats back up. It's less than 0.2 of a second between Brewer and Burns as we continue to watch these guys fight for 9th position. Going into 1. Anderson holds on to it. Here's the top 3 with Brewer, Burns, and Reed. Reed falling back a little bit here. Still on a podium finish. Lloyd has gotten around Thorpe. He's up to 4th. Exactly when this happened. To the outside a couple of laps ago for Dakota Floyd. Was able to get by Grant Thorpe on the exit of turn 2. I don't know, based off the speed that Dakota Floyd has right now, he's almost 0.2 faster than your leaders. I think Dakota Floyd's going to be in the picture here momentarily. Jeremy Burns is going to take a stab at the lead on the inside of 3 and 4. Philip Brewer defends on the outside. He'll hold on to it for the time being, but still to the inside. Does Brewer come down and block this entry to 1? He does not. He just gives him the air. It was a really good exit off the 2 the last time around, but now Burns not as good. He's getting dirty air from the 44. Paces it up the racetrack, keeps the momentum. He'll have the advantage going into turn 1, all over the back bumper. Does it get him loose? He makes him push up the racetrack. Jeremy Burns keeping his composure here. Brewer to the outside. And the battle for the lead continues side by side as Dakota Floyd goes to the inside of Michael Reed in the background here. Reed scrapes the wall, as does Brewer. First and second, third and fourth, side by side. How long can Philip Brewer hold off? This time around, 3/1000ths of a second across the line. Burns led that time by. They're running out of racetrack, out of turn 2. They're sideways. This is going to allow Floyd to catch up a little bit if they continue. Crossover move here by Reed, back to third. Laps to go from Atlanta in playoff race number 1. Burns still not able to clear, and they're running out of racetrack. Dakota Floyd now into the picture. Reed's coming back. Brewer did the best he could, but he's still there. Will he let Dakota Floyd go by? Floyd is faster than both these trucks. On the outside, out of 2, Floyd's gonna go. He's gotten clear. And now it's Dakota Floyd. Can he get around Jeremy Burns? Does Burns add another win to the column? Or can Dakota Floyd add his first of the season in playoff race number 1? 9 laps left from Atlanta. Floyd is a little bit faster than the 72. And he's going to get a good run out of 2 and get up to the bumper. This is the run I was talking about. He's going to get it again here. Burns does a fantastic job of holding it. Floyd is definitely faster than the 72. With some clean air on the nose. Not going to get quite the drive off of 4. We're going to see another challenge for the lead here very soon. Dakota Floyd has the tires last time by 0.04 of a second faster. It's going to come down to the last lap in the last corner. I have a feeling here for the 72 and 57. He's got him. He's all over him out of 4. less than a tenth. Burns just has to hold on to it to add the 8th win. First win of the season if Dakota Floyd can get around him. Drifting up the racetrack out of 2. Floyd's got the momentum. Does he take it to the inside? He will. Is it too soon for the challenge for the lead? Does Floyd want to dial it back here? Another good run out of 2. 5 to go. It'll be 4 in just a moment. Old Atlanta. This is why we miss this racetrack. Burns is not going to let him by easily. He's going to defend everywhere he can. But through 1 and 2, Dakota Floyd is a lot faster than the Ingenuity Power System 72. You can see it off that exit. He's going to gain back up to the back bumper. Burns forcing Floyd to the inside. And Burns gets a little loose there off the exit. Laps left. If you have anything for him, this is the time. Two to go. Spotters saying, let's finish strong here. Let's run this thing out. There's going to be a battle for the lead. Burns probably the best exit he's had off of turn 2. A send here to the inside from Floyd on the brakes. Down to the bottom. White flag in the air. One more time around from Atlanta. And Jeremy Burns just has to hold on one more time. Floyd saving that exit. He got a good run there. It's not going to be enough. He's going to have to send it into 3 and 4. It's going to be the 8th win for Jeremy Burns. Dakota Floyd winless this season, and it's going to stay that way. Your winner in playoff race number 1, Jeremy Burns. He led 20 laps. He started on the pole, and he finds his way to victory lane yet again. Jeremy Burns in the Truck Series. There's your top 3 with Burns, Floyd, and Reed. And gonna burn it down on the front stretch. 72. Let's find a post-race interview with Jeremy Burns. What do you say? Jeremy Burns, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth as you burn it down here on the front stretch. Man, I gotta say, that was a fantastic drive. That thing was all over the place for those final laps, but somehow you figured out a way to keep it in front of the 57 of Dakota Floyd, and you add your 8th victory of the season and your first in the playoffs. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. That was a heck of a race. I mean, I didn't think that I was the quickest there towards the end, but between just blocking on that high side and just trying to get around Philip any way that I can. I mean, new guy comes to the league tonight and is bad fast. So it's definitely really good, hard, clean race. I know that we were beating and banging there a little bit, which I mean that's just good old NASCAR racing. So I just really appreciate it for everybody, especially those guys over at Ingenuity Power Systems. Just really happy to get them back in victory lane, and really happy to be moving on to the next round here.
Yeah, locking yourself in. That's what this week was about. We're going to New Hampshire next week, and that's kind of a track that fits in the wheelhouse of a short track. Anything can happen there. And you were talking about beating and banging. We're going to see even more of that next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. New Hampshire is kind of infamous around, my name just from the coming back from 4 laps down. But here's the thing. In the trucks, it's going to be a lot more fun. Going to be a lot more slipping and sliding, a lot more under control than in the next gen. So I'm really excited for it. Really excited to have no pressure going into next week. That's going to be a lot of fun, and going there and just seeing what we can do and trying to add more playoff points, because things go wrong for drivers, and you're down 30 points, and you can only save so much with the playoff points. So just really glad to be in that position, and really glad to be heading into New Hampshire next week with no pressure.
Well, you also mentioned the guy that made his debut here, Philip Brewer, in the 44. You said he was bad fast. I just want to reestablish that I've raced side by side with him at Saturday Night Racing League, so I'm familiar with the 44 truck. And, if there was one asterisk here in this playoff, it's going to be new guys that are coming into this series. I think that kind of threw you for a loop a little bit in this race.
Yeah, just try to race up and around them. Just not used to them, which is fine. And I encourage anybody out there that's watching and wants to get involved to join this league. As you saw, a lot of clean, hard racing, a lot of what NASCAR fans are looking for, but really excited to have them in the league. It was very competitive tonight, so I definitely appreciate that. And it's always good to have a classic Atlanta finish like that. You had myself, who kind of stayed up there. You had Reed that was bouncing back and forth. And then, of course, Phil battling. And then the hard charger late there of Dakota Floyd. Definitely one of the more classic finishes that I've seen at Atlanta, and just really happy that it turned out the way that it did.
Jeremy, outside of that, you add your 8th win to the season. I think the chat is actually consolidating against you at this point, winning so many races. So why don't you go ahead and mention the names that put this race car on the racetrack, and everybody in between. I know you've got fans out here. Go ahead.
Yeah, just shout out my mom and dad, Josie, Coach P, Sonny, my grandma, Miss Betsy, Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shannon, Belinda, Betty, Colleen, Tommy, Chrissy, Dana, and Dylan. Element X and Performance for everything that they do, Metroplex for everything they do on the Cup side, Ingenuity Power Systems for continuing to stay on the hood. I actually got a cool little thing over the weekend from Ingenuity, so just really excited to have them on, have their support in this league. Chapman Environmental, Butt Kicker, Coastal Financial, Ultimate Exterior Lines, Earhart Holmes, All About Bugs, and of course you over here, Vspeed, Bradley. You do a phenomenal job. And just huge shout out to those guys up there in the top 5 that were battling all night. It was insanely fun. And if that's going to be how it is through the playoffs, then I got to bring my A game. And that does nothing but motivate me. And, I hope that motivates all of them to, continue to push as hard as they can.
It was a very classic finish here at Atlanta, but Jeremy Burns is going to become victorious in the very first round of the playoffs. Locks himself into the final 8. Congratulations on that 8th win. We'll see you next week when we go to Loudon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Bradley.
Jeremy Burns, your race winner here tonight from Atlanta. With that, though, it's time to take a quick commercial break. We'll round up those final race results and the rest of your top three. You are watching the Coastal Financial Truck Series live from the Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. More coverage for Racing Revolution on Vspeed right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Atlanta Motor Speedway, where Alex Forget Berube got stage number one. It was 22 lead changes and 3 cautions. One of those for the stage at lap 45. A lot of results coming up on your screen. But I tell you what, Dakota Floyd had a hard charge to the tail end of this race. Michael Reed in the top 5 all night long. We'll get a word with those drivers in just a moment. But Philip Brewer, the newcomer to this truck series, is going to finish out the top 5 in his debut in the Coastal Financial Truck Series. Grant Thorpe with a 5th place finish. Grant Turner 6th. Tyler Harrison in 7th. It was Caleb Gilbert in 8th with Trevor Keith 9th. Cody Anderson rounding out the top 10. What a phenomenal race we saw here tonight. I thought the 57 of Dakota Floyd might have had a little something for Jeremy Burns, but it was a lot of taking the air away and just defending that position for the 72 that kept him up front all the way to the end. Alex Forget Berube, your stage winner. He had problems on pit road. He'll end up finishing 11th. Nick Alves also issues on pit road. He'll finish at 12th. Ryan Comer 13th. Jacob Sirkovich 14th. Justin Ritchie is going to finish 15th. Kevin Orlando Jr. led some laps, started in the top 5. He'll finish 16th. And then it's Christopher Schaefer rounding out the field. And with that, it's time to bring up the rest of your top 3. The next driver we're going to pull in here is your 2nd place finisher. It's Dakota Floyd. And I tell you what, Dakota, if there was ever an opportunity to get a win this season, you had it right there in front of you. One more spot is all it would have taken. But you charged from the back of this field, got all the way up to the lead, and it just seemed like the truck ran out of steam. I don't know what else to say. You were fast tonight.
Yeah, I did some fuel saving in that run after the stage to see if I could get a couple more laps on those guys in the front and overcut them. And thankfully, I was able to overcut at least Burns and Brewer by a lap, and I cut Thorpe and I think Reed by 2. So it really helped me get there and make a couple of those passes. But once I got to Burns, I think the tires had just plateaued to that point, so it was really hard to pass him along the bottom.
Classic Atlanta finish is what Jeremy Burns said, and I agree with him. It came down to the last 5 laps of this race, and you were within a couple tenths of them. You took a stab at the lead there with about 3 or 4 to go. Do you think had you waited behind that 72 a little bit longer, maybe, a white flag try the same way you did there at 3 and 4, maybe that would have been enough?
I think it's just a matter of. I don't think it mattered where I picked the spot. I think it's a matter if I got a good enough run and could slide job him in either side of the track. I guess I just didn't pick the spot well enough. I thought I had a really good run on him at one point, but it just wasn't enough momentum. The tires were just shot at that point. So I think it was just a matter of picking the right time, right place, and unfortunately I didn't.
Well, we can see the overcut on our screen. You led 2 laps here tonight. Still winless this season, but we're going on to Loudon, New Hampshire. What does that 57 have in store for us when we go up to the New England state?
It's definitely one of my least favorite tracks. So I'm really hit or miss there. I could be either really good or really bad. I guess it just depends on how the track's driving. I've found success and I've found very mediocre success. So I'm just going to hope to be consistent in the laps there and hopefully come home with a good finish.
Dakota Floyd, second place finisher. Finally, we got to ask you, Dakota. We put this car on the racetrack every single week. Who do you have to shout out that helped make this possible?
Well, got to shout out the team. I got Richie and Kevin joined us tonight, so I know those guys got into some damage trouble early on. I hate to see it for them, but those guys are always a pleasure to run around. And thanks to the league, it was a really green race. I always love when Atlanta can go green like this because you just get really good long run racing. You get to see the guys that are good in the short and the long run. So really appreciate everyone running clean and keeping this thing green. Shout out to you guys in the broadcast booth. Always do a phenomenal job, and I can't wait to go back and watch how this one finished out from your perspective. And thanks to all the sponsors that keep this thing rolling, and thanks to everyone that supports me.
Gorilla Glue on the 57, looking to keep this momentum going. Second race of the round of 8. Dakota Floyd, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good night.
And finally, that brings us to our third place finisher, Michael Reed in the number 91. Michael Reed, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. Do you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, Michael, we've talked to you a lot here, especially in the second half of the season. You've got a victory under your belt in the regular season, but now it's the playoffs. And leading laps, man, probably close to a third of this race, you were up front. It just seemed like once that long run came together, this truck a lot faster on the short run. And then we had that asterisk here tonight with Philip Brewer. It just made it very interesting, but ultimately a podium finish should help you kind of solidify that playoff round of 8.
Yeah, that was man. That race was so much fun, and glad to see Philip out here racing with us now. So, good addition to Revolution Racing. Yeah, I was trying to balance those tires the best I could during those long runs because I kind of anticipated it going that way, and I just couldn't quite do it like old Jeremy there in Dakota. So, shout out to those guys; they did a great job.
We saw your exits off of turn 2. It seemed like you were better in 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, especially in the early parts of this race, but you kind of adapted your line later on. Do you feel like you learned this racetrack as the run progressed to help get this podium?
Yeah, and that's kind of been the name of the game here and in the Cup Series for me lately. Is just kind of trying to figure it out through the race and adjust on the fly. I was certainly burning right rear tire like crazy. I just could not figure out the exit of 2 until about halfway through that race. So that definitely played a part in it.
Well, you have Ruth Ann in here. I know she was a little bit mad at me last week there. I don't know if you went back and watched the broadcast, but a lot went on there, and it's just super speedway racing. We try to cover it as best as we can. We call it on the fly. It's so fast the way things happen there. But here tonight, a different approach, a different race altogether. Thank goodness it was the classic Atlanta and not that garbage that that we resat here recently. Just a great job here, Michael. And anybody want to shout out while we have you in the booth?
Well, if my Aunt Ruth Ann's in the chat, gotta shout her out. And Bradley, you do a great job every week. I don't hit every broadcast, but I go back and watch most of them, and you do call a good fair race for me and everybody else. So shout out to you, Vspeed, Revolution Racing, for putting on this league, and all the drivers out there. It's a great race tonight.
Well, how about it? Michael Reed, probably going to be in the top 8 if you can have another good one. We'll see you in 7 days' time when we go to Loudon. But until then, man, appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Bradley.
Michael Reed, third place finisher here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the legacy racetrack from 2008. He puts it down for a third place finish. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. 54% of you are not subscribed to this channel. Yeah, I want to call you out now. 54%. I tell you, it helps us out tremendously. It helps us get noticed. It gets your favorite driver up on that big screen. And, the YouTube algorithm is mysterious, but one thing I can confirm is that the more you like and share this broadcast, the more that you're going to see Vspeed pop up on that feed. So go ahead and do so if you have not. For everybody here at Racing Revolution, Nick Alves, who put the Truck Series together, Rob Rader in the Cup Series, and Grant Thorpe, all the people that help put this on, Adam Baker in the background for all the things he does, and at Vspeed on Twitter, vspeedsim.com. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long for race number 1 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The playoffs are underway for the Truck Series. We'll catch you in just 2 days' time. It's going to be Wednesday at 8:30 for the Truck Series. Until then, or for the Cup Series. Until then, stay tracking, everybody.